Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another car video. Yeah, most women don't have a high body count. Yeah, I know that's going to stir some people up because there's all this talk about body counts. And, normally I said before, man, only man you should worry about is the one she has a heart connection with. That's the only one. But then, I kind of let it go because I don't really give a shit about it personally. But people keep talking about it. But then last night, I was thinking as I do when I'm by myself, because I be thinking about everything. I be just sitting there chilling like, how can I make more money? How can I get better? Why are my sons messing with those particular women? This is the way to conquer the world. I be just sitting there, right? So, I thought about this young lady I know. I ain't gonna call her name. She's actually a sweet young lady, but she always has a different man. She's potentially a hoe. And I'm gonna use the term hoe because if you're talking about a high body count woman, you're basically talking about a woman that has slept with and will sleep with a group of men, probably some women too. But they're not official hoes, they're not pro hoes and stuff. Nobody hit them with that pimping and said, hey, you need to get paid for all those guys you're sleeping with. They're just straight hoes. They're just gonna sleep with who they feel like sleeping with. Right? And I was thinking about it and I was like, hold up. All these women out here ain't hoes. Now there's two primary reasons why I'm gonna say that, right? I'll get with the second one, that's the most important one, but let me say the first one. Let's think about it. I want everybody to think about it logically. If women were out here fucking the way some men think they are, because if a woman, let's use some common sense. High body count means that women are fucking. Most of these women don't have that. Because if they did, there wouldn't be a lot of men complaining about not being sexless. You might have a tiny portion, but the thing about hoes is they sleep with multiple men. Also, when you talk about, men be talking about that 80-20, I talk about select and non-select, alpha, beta, some guys talking 1%. Those terms wouldn't be in play if most men were getting pussy. I want y'all to think about it. One of the complaints is, a major complaint is women only going for a few men, a small percentage of men. Men are saying that, plenty of studies have been done, everything, right? God damn, it's hot up in this motherfucker. Let me take this off. They've been saying that, right? You got all these people saying that, but then some other people saying, well, these women got a high body count and stuff. How they gonna have a high body count, but they only sleep with a few men? Because then somebody smart say, well, all of them are sleeping with that same man. That same man in the real world, that man don't have time to fuck with a bunch of women. Seriously, in the real world, all those guys, even the guys, top players and stuff, they gotta work. They got other shit to do. They don't have time to sleep with a bunch of women. And two, they only gonna sleep with the most attractive ones. And all these women aren't attractive. Most of these women are average. They ain't gonna just sleep with these women no matter what. Especially if a guy got a bunch of women anyway. And even the top ones, they ain't gonna be with that many women. Ain't that many Chad and Tyrones to go around. Ain't that many 20%ers, ain't that many select. And then a lot of the select, a lot of them just, for whatever reason, religious reasons, personal reasons, they'll get that one badass woman and they be chill for the most part. Even if they cheat, it'd be like, well, just one other woman and shit. So you got a whole bunch of women, they ain't fucking. Now, they want to fuck, and let's be real, a lot of women want, they want that top guy. A lot of them ain't gonna get that top guy. They want that top guy to the point they ain't gonna mess with anybody else. And plus, I said something yesterday about these women not gonna get that money, man. You talk to a lot of these women, seriously, you can see this for yourself. You can see on their different YouTube channels, IG, TikTok, whatever you want to look at. The women complaining because they only want a specific group of men. Most women are picky. Now the hoe, I'm going to get into that later. But most women are going to be too picky for that. They want sex, but they only want it from a small group of men. Because if it was that easy for them, if they would just sleep around, they wouldn't need to go on sex vacations. They wouldn't need to pay gigolos. They wouldn't need to go up there and throw money at some male strippers. You know, shit. If they were just sleeping around, and I'm going to get into why I know it, because a deeper thing is just the nature of the women. But I want y'all to think about that shit. Ask yourself, if all these women are hoes, they sleeping getting these high body counts, all of them. Like, people be acting like it's most of them. All right? How come a person need to ask themselves, how come they ain't getting none? And let's be real, a lot of guys complaining they ain't getting none. So these women sleeping with everybody but him. No. Now, they might be sleeping with somebody, but per the nature of the hoe, she'll give him a shot. Now, it's really true that women got, they picky. Let's just say 80-20. 80-20, right? 80% of women going for 20% of the men. Usually the hoes will be that other 20%. And that other 20% because they open. Now, the average woman, she's going to have a select and non-select. It might be 20% of the men. Quite frankly, with some of the women, it's 5% of the men. Whatever the case, it's a smaller group. Their biggest, women, if you really listen to women, their biggest complaint is the guys they actually want, they can't get to. And then remember yesterday I said proximity. A lot of them just ain't in proximity to the guys that they want. The guys that they want, they might have a bunch of guys around them, but they definitely ain't sleeping with them casual. So look at all of that. Look at, you wouldn't have the 80-20 thing if women were just like sleeping around with just random men, if they were being a hoe. And this is how you understand it. Let me get into that. 3 things a hoe is going to be. A true hoe, a true woman who's going to have a seriously high body count is going to be. And I noticed this. They're going to be 3 things. They're going to be easy. They're going to be friendly. They're going to be receptive. Like easy. They ain't going to get a man too much trouble if they're trying to fuck like that. And they ain't going to be as picky. Whereas the average woman, she might, her select, non-select might be 80-20. She practicing that old shit. Some of them do want a 1%. But a hoe, a woman with a high body count, her shit might be more 60 men like 60% of men she'll sleep with, 40% she won't. And she'll be easy. Because most women are going to be approached. She going to be the type that she going to make it easy. In fact, you got some players out there, I call them poon hounds. They just know how to spot the easy women. That's how they get in there, is they just spot the easy ones. You got some women out there, yeah, they want to have a high body count because they easy. Like another part is they're going to be generally friendly. Women who want a select man, they ain't going to be friendly to a non-select man, a man they consider unattractive unless they have to be. And a lot of guys have faced that. A lot of guys have been rejected like that. A lot of guys have had women, they say something, the woman don't say nothing. The thing about a hoe, woman with a high body count, she at least say something. She going to be open to a lot of guys. I've had some women even tell me. They say that shit. And I've known some personally. That's how I know this about the hoe types. They don't really have a select, non-select. As long as you approach them, they easy. They'll be friendly to the guy. They'll be receptive. They ain't going to defend. Because if you think about a woman, you get these, some women talking about they slept with 100 men. They didn't approach all 100. That means 100 men, most of them had to approach her, say something. She had to be easy to approach. She can't have any walls up. She got to be friendly to even want to talk to her. And then the final thing, she got to be receptive. And all of those, like the 3 things I mentioned with her, are interconnected. Because I thought about the acquaintance I know who always keeps a boyfriend, always, and she's young. But I was like, she was awfully friendly to me, huggy and everything, friendly to the guys she met. I would see that. It didn't take much with her. And then I thought about other women who I know has a high body. They either told me or I'm in a position to observe how they interact with men. It's like they pretty open. They easy. They ain't gonna have their walls up. They'll talk to a guy like They ain't gonna. They might. Yeah, they'll talk to a Chad or a Tyrone, but they'll also talk to a Poindexter. They the ones who'll give a nerdy guy a chance. A hoe, see, a hoe by nature is just she ain't defensive. She'll sleep with whoever. That whole select, non-select, 80-20 don't mean shit to her. All the guy has to do is approach her with some halfway respect. And I'm saying halfway respect. But she's already going to be easy. She's already going to be friendly. She'll talk to the guy. And stuff. And she'll be receptive to whatever game he's spitting. Most women aren't unless that guy's select. In fact, that's what I said. A lot of these mean women, there's a guy they'll be nice to. When a woman is looking for her select, she's only going to deal with her select. It's really that simple. Now, if you got women, you got a bunch of women like that. You got a bunch of women who are picky, who people are talking about. All of them cannot have a high body count, because the only way they're going to have a high body count, one, they can't be picky, you know. They're going to have to be, like, easy when the guy approaches them. Like I said, with the woman who might have 100 bodies. Shoot, she's pretty much doors open. She opening the door to a great amount of men. And that's just her. Because I noticed that and I'm thinking back decades. Every single woman I've known who had a lot of guys around them, who had a reputation for being a hoe or, you know, just being receptive. You know, every single one. They had those things. Anybody could talk to them, no matter what they had. You know, no matter how they looked. They would talk to whoever. You know, easy, friendly, receptive. They ain't pushing the guy away. Basically, with a hoe, all the guy has to do is he fucks it up. She'll be open to him. And a true hoe, she'll sleep with random guys. She ain't pro yet. She might go pro at some point, but she'll sleep. She'll sleep with that dork. Oh man, you got a bunch of ducks. Damn, they just waiting. Damn, look at these ducks. I mean geese. They walking across the street, single file, taking their time. Like, yeah, motherfucker, whatever. Yeah, this is our world. Oh man, shit. They tripping. We just gotta wait. Oh, okay. They did their thing. All of them walked through. I seen something like geese walking one time, a bunch of white geese, looking like some church ladies walking across the street. They don't give a fuck. They just cross. But yeah, like getting back to what I was saying, if women really were, like guys worried about a high count, but first of all, most of these guys ain't gonna meet a high count woman. If you talk to them and say, have you actually slept with a woman with a seriously high count? Have you really slept with that woman? How many have you actually fucked? Like, you know they had a high count. You know they was on some hoe shit. And they'll be like, they can't really give you a number. They can't give you a number. In fact, because they haven't done it. They assuming. And see, guys be getting online assuming, but then the same guys will be like, well, these women picky. They can't be both. It's just that simple. You wouldn't hear people talking about an 80-20 or something. Or women, even online, like women not swiping right on some guys. A hoe gonna be open. They gonna be friendly. All you have to do is just go up and say hi. Trust me. They the friendliest women. They cool. Shit. I'm thinking about something. And here's a funny thing with them though. Those women are very rarely like in that 8 to 10 range. Very, very rare. That's another thing too. Like a lot of guys will see them and thinking, oh, just because all these women get approached and shit. No, they picky because they know they're attractive. They want the top guys. Like I said, most women are simple. I mean, that should be obvious. Most women are picky. I mean, you got mainstream media talking about all the sexless men out there. If the majority of these women want some hoe shit, they wouldn't have a problem. They'd at least get sex. Now, you know, I can understand why a guy wouldn't want to marry a woman who got a high count. Always talking about the bonding and all that. Okay, fine. But you got some women out here, but they ain't gonna get the women because they ain't select. The women gonna be picky. Most women are picky. whole type of women with high counts really ain't that picky. That's the only way they're going to get. That's the only way they're going to get what they get. And they're going to have to be friendly. They're going to have to be easy. They're going to have to be receptive to a man hollering at them. Otherwise, that's the only way they're going to get it. Because a lot of times they, some of them can be sexually aggressive, but even then. Because if you look at a lot of women now, this is why, and I want y'all to seriously think about it. You look at a lot of women now, they really are picky. So how can they have a high body count, but they picky? Unless that guy, you get some guys talking about that whole 6 thing. 6-pack abs, 6 feet tall, 6 figures. Even though they'll say 6'6", it's really 4 6s, 6 inches. And you get some women get online talking about that. Then you get some other women, they talking, well, he got to have $500,000 and shit. And yeah, you can call them delusional and shit, but the thing with some women is they looking for that. Well, if they looking for all of that, they got all this criteria, that means they ain't going to sleep with the average man. How they going to have a high count? Because most of them are not going to meet those top guys. And then the top guys, even if they meet them, might not want them. They still want some. Let's be clear on that. These women want sex. But shit, you look at, man, you got whole groups of women. They be going to retreats and shit just to increase their sex appeal, work on their sex appeal. But let's be real. They want the top men. If they want some hoe shit, they ain't gonna be like, oh, you a bus driver, I ain't gonna fuck you. But you hoe gonna fuck. As long as he cool and friendly, they gonna fuck him. As long as he in halfway decent shape, they gonna fuck him. That's what hoes do. I've seen it, like hoes. Now I know some women get mad I use that term, but I'm just using a street term, just to understand. And they all, like I said, generally friendly, smiling, all that shit. You can always tell when they generally on that shit. Whenever I run into some women like that, I'm like, okay, she friendly to all the guys. Come on now. Because I know a dime, shit. Or a woman y'all consider a dime, or I say very attractive, 8 to 10 range. Let's just be real, she ain't friendly to all the guys like that most of the time. Most of them ain't that friendly. No matter what you think, you get none. So how they gonna have a high count? Because look, the only way a woman is gonna have a high count, and I'm gonna make this clear, just play this over and over, she's gonna have to interact with a bunch of men. But you get a lot of these women out here, they ain't gonna interact with a guy unless he fine. And a lot of men aren't fine to these women, or he got money out the wazoo and it's obvious. And a lot of guys, that's not out. Seriously, you seen it. Y'all seen guys won't be complaining about rejection if women were that damn easy. Now, yeah, they're easy for the select men, but how many men are truly in that category? Many men identify themselves as non-select. Many men will say they having trouble. How can you have trouble with a group if it's mostly hoes? You would at least get sex. Now, if you're talking marriage and shit, yeah, that'd be a problem if you're trying to get married. But shit, you still get a woman, you get some play. She'll give you a shot. If she a hoe, that's just their nature. You get some women like that. Like I said, you can always tell, especially if you got experience with them. They the type gonna be friendly. They gonna if you put them in a group of men, you put them where there's a group of men, they'll be the friendliest, they'll be the smiliest, they'll be the flirtiest. They the type who will look at that non-select dude who nobody fucking with and go over and holler. I've seen it, Or if you try to holler at them, shit, they'll be friendly. Like I said, you get some coon hounds on that shit, some player shit, they look for those easy girls. It's like, don't get mad. And then if that woman's that way, my thing is, why you worried about her? Because like I said, it's rare. They usually maybe above, if I'm going to say average, they're going to be in that 5 to 7 range. And really 5 to 6 range. But rare you get a 7. Because so many women going to be defensive. So how many women are truly receptive to a large amount of men? I want y'all to think about that. Think about this shit logically. Both cannot exist. You can't have like the thought that, okay, all these women out here got these high body counts, but then these women are picky. And shoot, talk to a truly select man. He'll tell you he ain't trying to mess with all of them. Because he going to be picky. He going to be picky. Shit, because he can be. So you get a lot of women, they just ain't going to have it. Now, whether they had sex, now some guys get, or they on the extreme looking for a virgin. Now, I say, you have a hard time finding that. Good luck. But a virgin, they shit. The woman just need one time with that to lose her virginity. She's not gonna, and then rest of her life, she ain't gonna sleep with that many men. Cause I'm telling you. And I know this just from experience. I'm actually out here, man. Get some people, they listen to somebody else who don't know. I've known scores of women like that who got serious high counts. Scores. And that's going through decades. And they all, like I said, they all got the same general personality. Every single one. They the type who'll smile a lot. They'll be easy. You go approach them. Shit. I said one time, that thing with pickup artists. I met some women. I said, yeah, they'd be perfect for a pickup artist because they'll be receptive. That's what you gotta look at. That's what you gotta look at. Oh wait, I forgot. I ain't wanna go here. Shit. Let me turn around. I forgot what store I was going to for a second. Yeah, it must be Harford County. Older white woman with a half black grandchild. Just saying. That's another conversation. But yeah, just seriously. You know what? Just think about it. Seriously, just seriously think about it. How can so many men be complaining but saying, I got high counts? They have a high count. They got like if a woman I'm really emphasize that if a woman been with 100 men, that means she gotta be receptive to 100, because she ain't gonna find because every woman got their own tribe, their own group they want to pick. A true hoe is receptive to a wide variety of men. They could go pro. I'm talking about they ain't charging the guys money or anything like that. They just sleeping with them. And I'm gonna be real, I don't have a problem with them. They are who they are. Like I said, I understand if a guy don't want to marry him, okay, don't marry him. But understand, there ain't a lot of them. Because if it was a lot of them, you wouldn't have any guys complaining. Because guys at least would be able to get some pussy on the record. You got a house. That's the thing with house. Shit. Oh man. Anyway, I know some people gonna get mad and whatever. Get over it. Shit, get the fuck over it. It is what it is. Yeah, extra crowded. It is what it fucking is. But yeah, ain't that man with the high body count. And if you deal with enough women, you start recognizing some shit. You start recognizing the difference. Like I said, and I gave you the keys right there. I said a woman like that, let's put it like this, she'll be friendly to a dork. How about that? That's how you know. And they'll fuck with a dork. Not to use them. They'll legitimately want to fuck them. They don't limit themselves. Those are the type of women always find a man. Always. And you look at the man ain't looking like no, what's somebody pulling up behind me? What is it about my car? But yeah, the man ain't gonna be like the typical Chad or Tyrone. Shit. In fact, you got some men, they might hook up and they might stay with that woman just because that's not, she halfway decent, give them some play. There's a lot of guys out there like that. Let me get this shit. I'm trying to think what I gotta get. Nah, don't bring it. Anyway, I gotta get in here, go do what I do, alright? But I want y'all to think about everything I just said. Think about it. Think. Get out your emotions. Men deal with facts. Get out of it. Think of it. Just think. How all these women hoes, but then they being picky too. And trust me, guys at the top, they don't have time to fuck with a bunch of women. They don't have time. How you have time? They working jobs and shit. Most of them are. And even the ones who are kept men and shit going around, they can only fuck with so many women at a time. So that leaves a whole bunch of women. So think about it. If they were hoes, a lot of guys wouldn't have problems. So anyway, I'm out of here, yo. I'll talk to you. Peace.